And breaking tonight, junior doctors have announced they will strike in unison with consultants for the first time in British history. The coinciding strikes will happen in September and October, coming after a year of damaging disruption to the NHS caused by ongoing industrial action, with the BMA demanding a shocking 35% pay rise for junior doctors. Ministers today branded the joint strike callous and calculated. And welcome back to the show. How can these striking workers sleep at night, given the NHS is already crumbling under pressure and their demands, Anne, are just clearly so unreasonable?
Well, indeed, and they're acting like brutes, and they are brutes to be doing this. I mean, they know that every time they strike, that puts pressure on the NHS queues, and that somebody somewhere suffers. In fact, quite a lot of people will suffer. And if the doctors and the consultants are out together, then that effect is going to be damning. Now, the very fact that they're prepared to do that in pursuit of a ludicrous pay claim of 35%, they're already well paid. I have no doubt at all that the value of their pay has been eroded over the years. That has also happened in an awful lot of other professions as well. There's nothing unique to them about that. But even given that, they are putting people at risk, putting people's welfare, possibly even their lives at risk to line their own pockets. They are immoral. There is no other word for it.
I know. And it just feels so political, Anne. I mean, there's absolutely no way they'd be doing this under a Labour government.
Well, I don't know whether they would do it under a Labour government or not. I mean, I do remember the 1970s with a Labour government when half the country was on strike, the grave diggers, the dustmen, absolutely everybody was on strike. So I don't think necessarily that they wouldn't do it if it were a Labour government. But I think there is certainly an added incentive there that they think it's damaging the Conservative government. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that if Labour were in control, they wouldn't strike, because anybody who's prepared to strike at risk to other people is prepared to strike full stop.
OK. Now, look, time for Widdy's War on Woke. And Anne became something of a national treasure, as you remember, with her unique performances on the BBC's Strictly Come Dancing back in 2010, a show our very own Angela Rippon will be joining later this year. But the usual keyboard warriors now attacking the show for the fact that some contestants have previous dance experience that could give them some sort of advantage in the competition. So, Anne, you were a star of Strictly. You had no dance experience, did you, Anne? But you're actually angry that folk are creating problems here.
Yes, I am very angry about it. Look, the whole point of Strictly is that you don't start on an even keel. If you had everybody starting evenly, then you wouldn't have pensioners, which I was when I did Strictly. You wouldn't have pensioners and young athletic dancers in the same competition. It just would be unheard of. It's supposed to be family entertainment, and the whole joy of it is that you have got this range of dancers. Some will be utterly useless, some will be useless but funny, which is what I was.
Oh,
some will be...
No, you were better than that. Look at you there, my goodness.
I'm absolutely useless. I've got I can't hear music. I'm tone deaf in the literal sense. I cannot hear music. Couldn't discern a beat. The Dave Arch singers had to actually tell me what to do by emphasising words, because I couldn't pick up a beat. Anton would say stuff right at the beginning, like, go off on the fourth beat, and I would say, what's that? I couldn't hear it. So the Dave Arch singers, poor souls, used to have to punch out words, and that was my cue.
But Anne, I think Angela Rippon, not that I like talking about a lady's age, but I think Angela Rippon might even be older than you when she is going on the show. So what's your advice to her?
Oh, I don't think Angela needs much advice. She has danced in the past. She's a very intelligent lady who can work it all out for herself. I don't think she needs any advice from me at all. But my advice to all Strictly contestants is always the same, whether they're very good or utterly hopeless or whatever. It's always the same. Enjoy it, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You can do Big Brother twice. You can do The Jungle twice. You cannot do Strictly twice. So enjoy it.
And you have no regrets?
Oh, I'm far from having regrets. I reckon it was one of the best decisions I ever took. And everybody who called themselves my friend was against it, I can tell you.
Really? They said, don't do it?
Yeah, the whole of the office said, don't do it. All my friends said, don't do it. They all gave the same reason. They said that I would lose my gravitas. And I said, yes, that's right, but what do I want it for?
Well, you've got it back, Anne. You've certainly got it back. Anne Widdecombe, brilliant as ever. We'll speak next week, Anne. Thank you so much.